So Nintendo just released their new Nintendo Direct about the new Super Smash Bros. Ultimate game, and I'm just really excited and I want to talk about it. So I'm going to. I was not expecting them to release quite so many new characters in this lead-up video. I was also not expecting them to kill Luigi, but you know, this one's full of surprises. So they announced Simon Belmont, and I was like, oh yeah, no, cool, Simon Belmont, neat. And then they were like, Richter Belmont, and I was like, yes! I kind of thought that was funny how I get so much more excited for Richter Belmont. Crom, who I'm sure is a person, and then Dark Samus and King K. Rool. The last two, I'm not super hyped about those two, but I know there's a lot of people who that's going to make them really, really happy. And yeah, no, this is getting really exciting. And if I understood Sakurai right, this is not all of the characters, but they will be announcing all of them before the game actually releases. The other bit that is just kind of nuts is there's over 100 stages. And if it's not every stage that's ever been in a Smash Brothers game, it's damn close to that. And that's just... I get so excited and then I lose my train of thought. It's frustrating. So the other part that is just neat and weird and just beyond what I was expecting, they have over 28 hours of music in this game, so you could be playing it all this time and never hear the same track twice in a day, if that's how you were playing it, though I doubt that would be how you'd be playing it. Another thing that seems odd to get excited about, but I kind of am, is that they have a new menu, and yeah, that seems really weird to get excited about, but the previous Super Smash Bros. And Super Smash Bros. 4, that menu was terrible, and it was confusing, and it was hard to navigate, and it looks like they're just kind of focusing on giving the players a better just user experience with how they're setting everything up, letting you pick the stage before you pick your characters, because it's like, oh, well, I don't want to play as Pikachu on this stage. There's all this stuff above me, and I lose my ability to use my Thunder attack. That always stunk whenever it'd be like, oh, you're playing a game, and then, oh, this is a level that sucks for this character, and letting you change how you're doing that just seems to be it makes so much sense, and I'm really glad they're doing it that way. Also, that stages can now turn into other stages with like an options thing for that. That's so cool. That floored me, and it's like, that is such a clever idea. I can't believe that like they hadn't thought of that before, but man, that's going to make some things really much more difficult and dynamic. One of the other things they just kind of went over was the various rule tweaks and everything. I'm really liking the idea that you can do stock and timed match at the exact same time, making things just run a lot smoother and letting you just kind of customize the fights however you want. I'm really glad to see the return of the like stamina mode, and that like your character just disappears this time and doesn't just kind of like lay there on the ground after you've lost. I always thought that was kind of weird. They also introduced the idea of squad fights, where you get to pick 3 characters and your opponent picks 3 characters, and then you fight through that way. And I think like that seems like it's going to be a really just different way of playing the game. They didn't say anything about Smash Tour, which I don't think was anyone's favorite style of gameplay, and if that was gone, I wouldn't be broken up over it, but it was alright. I didn't hate that mode. Alright, now I'm going to talk highlights. These are the things that I was the most excited to see in the Direct. New Pokemon. I mean, obviously not new playable ones yet, though who's to say that we won't get 1 or 2 of those. I was really excited to see like just the executor that cuts the stage in half, and like, oh, you can't really jump over it without help, and how that could really just change up a stage and make it feel really different. I always get really excited about the Pokemon stuff. I don't know, I'm just a big Pokemon fan. The other thing that I kind of thought was neat is that a lot of the characters that are just not quite making it into the game, that they're still representing them with assist trophies, that are still fighting alongside or against them, like with Knuckles and Alucard and stuff like that. Kind of on the Castlevania bit, that new Castlevania stage looks crazy, and I cannot wait to play on that one. That one might be my new favorite stage. Just constant hazards coming at you, and the stuff changing up a little bit. That just looks like so much fun, and like it's going to be half you versus your opponent, half you versus the stage, and like that just seems like it's going to be really exciting and fun to play on. If you can't tell, I'm much more for fun as opposed to for honor or glory. Honestly, I don't remember what it's called, so kind of tell that I don't ever play that way. I'm not really a Final Destination items off kind of guy. Also, they're showing a lot of love to Castlevania Symphony of the Night with this. I'm just kind of curious. That game has never been on a Nintendo console as far as the Wikipedia entry that I looked up beforehand is concerned. So are you guys kind of tipping your hat that you might be porting Castlevania Symphony of the Night to the Switch? I really hope that's the case. I love that game, and I would love to be able to play it again on a modern console. All right, so now we're going to jump to my predictions, hopes, whatever you want to call it, for Smash Bros. Ultimate. Just some of the stuff I would like to see come back to the game or just kind of be introduced into the game. First thing I would like to see, I really miss Break the Targets. I get, like, with the extensive cast, it would be a lot to program one level that's individually tailored to teaching you how to use the character or maximizing their ability to break all of these targets in a level. I get that would be a lot of work, but it's also really fun, and I really enjoy doing those little stages, and I would love to see that again. I'm not a huge fan of like the Angry Birds style Break the Targets from Ultimate. Like, I would play it occasionally, but like I never really enjoy it. Like, it just kind of felt like, oh, this is kind of like the knock the sandbag guy around thing. Just harder and more arbitrary whether or not you do well at it. I would just love to see that come back. And I'm also just... Smash Brothers works really well when you're using it like kind of as a platformer, and that can be really fun. And that kind of leads me into what I would like to see number 2. I really loved Super Smash Bros. Melee, like single adventure mode sort of thing, where you had to go through the stages and jump on Goombas and do that. I played a bunch of the 3DS's weird mode where you had to go through and collect power-ups. But, like, I didn't really like the after the game thing with that, because it was just like, oh, here's a kind of like a weird random challenge you're going to have to do with all of these power-ups you collected. And it's like, I'm not playing it for this mode, I'm playing it for the other one. And, I don't know, I would just love to see that come back. I don't need a full Subspace Emissary 10-hour campaign thing. I mean, I wouldn't turn that down by any stretch of the imagination. But it would be really neat to see just some simple platforming levels and just like a fun thing that you could do with that. If I was going really on the extreme on that, it'd be really neat if you let people create their own little stages or challenges. They were like your own Break the Targets thing or your own thing like that. I mean, I don't expect that one. That's a big ask, but like that would be my ideal add-on to Super Smash Bros. Third, I really love me a level editor, if you couldn't tell by the end of entry 2. I really can't wait to see what they're going to do with the building your own custom levels. I imagine you probably won't be able to share them online or play on them online because of reasons, but like, I don't know. I loved Mario Maker, and I love just building my own stuff and building my own fun levels to play on. Ultimate's level editor I thought was a little lacking, but it was still fun, and just there's a lot of room for improvement would be the best way of putting that. But yeah, I would love to see just a more advanced, robust level editor. Again, I feel like this one's a bit more of a big ask, but I don't know. Smash Brothers Brawl had a halfway decent one, and I would love to see something a bit more akin to that in the new game. Lastly, I can't wait to see what they're going to end up doing with the Mii fighters. I know my one prediction was that they would add in another Mii fighter that was a wizard. I don't know if that's going to happen. Still hope it does, but I'm not as confident now. it was always fun to make your friends or yourself and play these battles, but it was also a great way to include characters that there was no way they were going to make it into the main game. I was so excited when I got like the Lloyd Irving costume. I think I had to download that one, but just introducing all these other costumes for like the characters that didn't even make it as the cut for assist trophies. I don't know, I always really liked that, and I thought it was really fun. And it was also just a great way to get kind of new characters, but not really. Alright guys, thanks for joining me on this little look at Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and the Nintendo Direct about it. I'm really excited for this game, and I can't wait to get started playing it. Let me know in the comments what your favorite parts were, what you're excited about, all your hopes and dreams and crazy theories about the next game. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me again, and I'll see you next time.